good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again in our podcast here in Anchor, where we talk about faith, family, and finance. And this afternoon, guys, grabe, it's a privilege for us to have our guest speaker. He's a stock investor for most of his life, guys, and I've followed him since I graduated kasi nung graduate ako, he's been my influence. He's the CEO of Stock Smarts, stock trader, entrepreneur, financial consultant, keynote speaker, and best-selling author of different books about stock market. Nung nagsisimula ako sa investing, talagang binasa ko po yung books niya. And until right now, lagi ako nakatune in guys sa YouTube channel niya. So, without further ado guys, let's welcome Mr. Marvin Germo in our podcast. Hi sir!
Hello. I forgot to ask. This is audio or video podcast.
Actually sir, parehas po. Nire-record ko sa
Okay.
audio din sa YouTube din sir.
Okay. So to everyone watching in YouTube and everyone listening in the podcast, thank you for listening, and thank you also for inviting me. It's always an honor. So kung hindi pa kayo nakasubscribe sa channel niya, please subscribe and smash the bell na rin para get updated for the content.
Yeah, thank you Sir Marvin for giving us time, and I'm sure marami pong matututunan yung mga listeners natin and viewers. So Sir Marvin, at this season kasi since nag-pandemic, there's a lot of things that are happening for investors, for traders, and I'm sure this discussion will help them to navigate their decision making, di ba sir? Kasi maraming mga nag-iisip ngayon ano bang pwedeng gawin. So a month has passed already in February na. People are now hopeful actually about the recovery of our economy. For those people, sir, who are not yet invested, kasi may mga iba, talaga ngayon pala nag-iisip. Sinasabi nila, is it a good time to invest right now? So what are your tips, sir? So they will start investing even at this season of our economy.
Okay. I'm curious. When you ask that question, what age group would you want me to address also?
Oh, okay, sir. Maybe, sir, we can address po yung mga, una-una, sir, mga millennials. Then, pangalawa, mga baby boomers as well. Kasi they are maybe, thinking of what they can do sa funds din po nila.
Okay, so relatively older, no? I can only share it from my experience, no? Kasi what I normally do is, I don't share things out of what I think is good or theory lang. What I can tell them is what I would do at this point in time. So, ako gagawin ko kung based on your question, hindi pa ako kung wala ka pang investment,
yes, sir.
I would try to put in as much as I can to invest right now. Anything na excess, anything na hindi ko kailangan, anything na sobra, I would invest it already. Kasi, especially you said baby boomers So if they're older already, tapos wala pa silang na-invest, they need to catch up dun sa time na hindi sila nakapag-invest. So, the older they are, the more that they have to be intentional in the money that they have been putting. So, I'm trying to put myself in those shoes kasi different sa akin. I started early, but if you are a millennial now, 30 something ka na, you're probably earning also more. So, whatever you can na sobra, invest it right away. That's what I do. That's what I do. But to everyone watching, please also aralin nyo din right after this video. Pero if I'm a person who's playing catch up na wala pa ako masyadong natabi, I try as much as possible to invest as much right now.
Yeah, I agree Sir Marvin kasi nung nagsimula rin po ako pagka-graduate ko, especially sir, for those naman na maybe we can address din yung mga Gen Zs, no? Kasi nung graduate po ako as a millennial, wala pang responsibility, so I can be aggressive din. Habang inaaral ko rin yung market, mas madali rin sir makapag-ipon kasi pag wala ka pang responsibility, like what you mentioned, no? Nung mas younger age po kayo, talagang you started investing. And of course, yun nga, yung sa mga baby boomers naman, this is also a good time for them if they have excess funds to start their investments. Kasi ang goal naman natin, sir, maybe for retirement, for personal purposes that can help our family members.
Pero clarify ko lang when you say baby boomers, retired na yung mga baby boomers ngayon So, it might be too late already for them if they're planning for retirement already. Dapat nasa 60s na sila. So, whatever investments that they have should be something to make them sustain also yung buhay nila ngayon.
Yeah, I think sir, yeah, that's right po. And more on conservative na lang sir sila kasi kumbaga they need the money na rin for their
Mm.
retirement. Yeah, thank you sir for ano naman sir no for those listeners and viewers natin ngayon. What are the parameters sir na you would suggest? Kasi before naman mag-invest, of course, they still need to check their risk appetite or ano ba yung suitable sa kanila. So, ano po ba sir yung mga parameters that we can remind them of before investing?
Simple lang. It has to be an amount of money that hindi nila kailangan sobra. Hindi, kung matagal nilang hindi galawin, say 10 years, okay lang sa kanila. Tapos kung bumaba man yun ng 50%, will they be able to sleep well at night? If the answer is yes, they invest that money already. So, yun lang saan, as simple as that. It has to be an amount of money that qualifies for all of that. And it doesn't matter kung 500 pesos yun or 50 million pesos yun. Uh, that's something that they can start with as a parameter already. Pero in the same way, and there's a lot of investments available eh. So you invest in ano yung alam mo. You invest in what your skill is. If you're not skilled at, for example, stocks, there's other investments out there also. If you are not, if you're skilled in real estate, they spend a lot of time putting your time, money, and attention there. So, ganun lang.
Yeah, thank you sir. Kasi mahalaga po no, sa mga viewers and listeners natin, do not invest in something na hindi pa natin naiintindihan. So, if nagpaplano pa lang kayo mag-invest, maganda na you can research muna, do your due diligence para kapag nagsimula kayo, mas ano rin kayo, no, may confidence. And at the same time, like what Sir Marvin mentioned, you can start small. Ako na Sir Marvin, just to share, nag-start lang po ako with the minimum amount of 5,000. Tapos along the way, syempre kapag may excess money tayo, yung maluwag sa akin din, I just place it sa online brokerage na ginagamit ko. Then from there, mas natututunan ko rin yung stock market. And of course, real estate is also a good investment. So if you're planning to buy a house or condo, just conduct the due diligence and other information needed before investing. So, Sir Marvin, how about sir yung regarding naman sa ano no, mutual funds? Kasi may mga nakakausap din ako na minsan iniisip nila, gusto kong mag-invest sa stock market, pero tinatanong ko rin kasi sila, do you have time ba to at least read or study the ins and out of the market? Kasi kung wala naman sila masyadong time and they need to do other things, why not start mutual fund investing? What are your thoughts, sir, about mutual funds po?
I think mutual funds are for people who want to have exposure sa stock market, pero gusto nila magkaroon ng average returns that they won't get something spectacular, they won't get something really bad, they will get something in the middle without learning a bit of either technical analysis or fundamental analysis. And in the same way, hindi sila mahilig sa dividends. Kasi kung hindi ka, kung busy ka, just buy a dividend stock, okay din naman kasi yun eh. So I think that's what mutual funds, that yun yung category of people that will fit sa mutual funds. Pero in the same way, pag nag-mutual funds, kasi people think na hindi na safe siya. But may volatility din kasi siya kasi yung underlying asset niya, volatile din naman talaga. So, it also has to come to a point based on what we talked about earlier na itong pera ba na to, kung bumagsak ng 50%, okay ba sa akin? If the answer is yes, the mutual fund. So, it's more of what do you want? Do you want to study more or do you want to study less? If you want to study more, then you have to be more specific dun sa investment mo. But if you just want exposure, tapos you don't want to select and time already, I think that's where mutual funds will somehow help people na ayaw na nila piliin kung anong stocks yung gusto nilang bilhin. So, in that way, I think that's the underlying benefit ng mutual funds.
Yes, sir. The good thing about this naman kasi, sir, no, yung mga nagsisimula ngayon, they can build naman their financial portfolio one step at a time. Maybe pwede nagsimula muna sila sa mutual fund. So wala pa silang time. Then pag nagka-time din naman sila, they can start investing also directly in the stock market. So we're learning a lot, sir. No? I'm sure yung mga audience and listeners natin, yung mga nagtitrade din and nag-invest, if you're learning in this session, please feel free to share it with your friends. Sir Marvin, aside po sa ano no, sa stock
Tsaka
market.
don't just share to your friends. Comment below kung YouTube to, guys. Pinutin nyo yung like button sa channel na to.
Oo nga.
Tamaan nyo, sayang naman nanonood kayo dyan. Pinutin nyo yung like button. Pinutin nyo, pabutin nyo to ng 1,000 likes.
Yes, sir. Yun nga yung goal ko, sir. No? Thank you talaga, sir, no, sa pag-join sa amin. Baka ito na yung magiging, ano, sir, no, dahilan para mag 1,000 likes to.
Hindi, masisira ka nga.
Thank you, Sir Marvin. Sir, regarding naman to, sir, no, kasi right now, nakikita ko rin as I read the news, marami pong na-excite with what's happening, sir, sa Bitcoin. Kasi may season na umangat siya, bumaba siya. And right now, sir, sobrang taas na naman ng growth ng mga returns no sa Bitcoins. Pero sir, what are your thoughts then and what are the parameters that investors should remember? Kasi syempre, meron din namang risk talaga nakasama pagdating sa Bitcoin investing, sir.
Okay, when I just want to clarify that, no, because there's so many facets about Bitcoin. When you say Bitcoin investing, ano yung pinaka-context of people getting into it?
Based sa observation ko kasi sir, dahil nakikita nila na, for example, yung sa US po na Bitcoin, sobrang mabilis yung pag-angat niya and ngayon sa yung mga kaibigan ko rin, they want to invest din sa Bitcoin or other types of cryptocurrencies na pwede nilang pag-investan. So somehow sir, parang naha-hype din sila eh. Pero sabi ko nga, syempre
You,
may
you,
risk
you
din.
mean they want kasi there's a lot of ways to look at Bitcoin. Do they want to use it as a currency na yun yung pang transact nila, yun yung pang transfer ng money nila, or do they want to trade it lang with dollar to Bitcoin, or like what you said, they're using Bitcoin to buy other cryptocurrencies, or talagang gusto lang nilang hawakan tas iwan nila for a long time. Alin doon, so I can answer
Yeah.
you properly.
Yes sir, thank you for processing. I think dun po sir sa side na ano eh, gusto rin nila mag-trade eh kasi gusto nilang maramdaman yung gains and yung possible returns. So may mga iba rin naman sir, they want to buy and hold lang kasi they observe na few years ago, sobrang laki na po nung naging growth niya. So maybe sir, the two aspects po, the buy and hold and those who want to trade for cryptocurrencies.
Okay. I do all of that. I have a wallet where I store Bitcoin. Been doing that since 2018. Medyo late ako sa Bitcoin. I was not one of the nung I've heard about Bitcoin 2013 na yun. I had I think I was writing pa for Rappler at that time. They would get me to write for a lot of investment or personal finance items at that time. Tapos they asked my opinion about Bitcoin. Tapos at that time sabi ko, wag yan, shady yan, ganun. So I was medyo late into the game. Tapos I went to Dubai. 20, yung Bitcoin kasi umakyat siya to 20,000, halos 20,000 nung 2017. Tapos nag-crash siya a few months after. So I was in Dubai at that time. Then kung mapanood mo to, si John Joseph Mendoza, siya yung sa akin, nag-push sa akin, sabi niya Bitcoin is the future. So from that time, March, I think Bitcoin was below 4,000 at that time.
Mm.
That's when I started. So, dalawa yun. One was to get it as a currency na nasa wallet. Then another one was I I I opened a platform that allowed me to buy other cryptocurrencies na yung base nun galing muna sa Bitcoin. So I do both, and then I would also trade right ngayon, mas lately, more of ano na lang, I've been trading pabalik-balik lang Bitcoin US dollar, then a bit of Ethereum and Ripple. Yung nabawasan lang is hindi na ako nagbe-Bitcoin to other cryptocurrencies. So I'm just holding what I have from sa wallet. Then nagte-trade din ako US Bitcoin, dollar Bitcoin, dollar USD, Ethereum, USD, Ripple. Pero nawala yung from Bitcoin to other cryptocurrency. So everything works naman, no, kasi yung as long as babalik ulit dun sa pinag-usapan natin sa first question mo, if it fits all of those parameters, I think it should be okay. So sa akin,
Mm.
ano yun, tanggap ko yun. When I invested in Bitcoin before, kung mag-zero man to, okay lang sa akin eh.
Yeah.
So, I think that should be the mentality in every investment that people get into, kahit mutual funds yan or stocks. So, yun.
Yeah,
So
please
ako,
take.
by the way, I don't think about magkano yung kikitain ko. I always think about magkano yung mangyayari sa akin if I lose money from it. If the answer is, okay lang sa akin eh, di I invest in it. Tapos bonus na lang yung kita. Whenever I invest, it's not driven about kung magkano yung pwede kong kitain. It's all about magkano yung pwedeng mawala sa akin. Because if you answer that question properly already, everything else will be upside na.
Yeah. Please take note guys, no? Talagang before investing, make sure na this is your excess money and you're willing sa fluctuations kasi talagang nandyan yan. But yun nga, to reiterate what Sir Marvin mentioned, syempre may potential din naman siya na gain. So we need to consider those things as well. Alright, so Sir Marvin, thank you for your insights regarding stock market and Bitcoin. And lagi natin dapat tandaan kasi before investing, meron tayong mga series of steps din na kailangan gawin. Ang lagi ko rin tinuturo, sir, sa mga clients ko rin, family and friends, of course, they need to manage their cash flow unang-una, di ba? So dapat may excess funds ka, alam mo yung income mo and expenses. Then number two, syempre, we need to get out of debt. Kung meron kang utang ngayon, of course, kailangan unahin muna natin na bayaran yan. So meron tayong mga techniques such as yung snowball method para maubos yung utang natin. Then eventually, emergency fund, very important, Sir Marvin. Di ba? We need to have at least 6 months of emergency fund. Sobrang na-realize natin yan this pandemic. Tapos after ng emergency fund, sir, mahalaga rin yung life insurance, sir, no? Ano, sir, yung mga insights, sir, about acquiring life insurance? Kasi may mga Filipinos pa po na, let's say, hindi pa sila ganun ka-aware. So, gaano ba, sir, kahalagang life insurance, sir, para sa atin?
You're asking sa akin kung bakit ako kumuha ng life insurance or why do people I think it's dependent on the person and yung responsibilities nila. They get life insurance based on who are they trying to protect also. So like for example sa akin, I get my life insurance based on the amount of protection that I would need sa assets ko, sa family, and if there's something that would happen. So, ganun din dapat for others. They need to measure magkano yung sino yung kailangan kong protect. If I need to protect someone, there has to be a monetary amount also attached to it. So, it's more of protection. It's more of hedging. It's more of if things don't go the way you want it to be, at least you have something that can give you a certain amount of money that will help you kunyari nagkasakit, especially if it's something that's critical na illness or ikaw yung nagbabayad ng bill sa family mo and ikaw yung nawala, they have enough money also to somehow pay for those bills also. So insurance basically is something that will give you a hedge just in case things don't go well.
Yeah, the good thing, sir, about financial planning, sir, no, yung mga napag-usapan po natin kanina, it's more on combination of all those things. Kasi ako, sir, personally, sa journey ko rin, hindi naman siya lahat nagawa ko ng sabay-sabay. So, maganda na ma-educate po natin yung mga Filipinos right now, even yung mga other nationalities na talagang it's step by step, no? Pero once na nakapag-invest tayo, mas marami tayong ma-achieve na financial goals. So, sir, going back, sir, gusto ko lang siguro mas mag-dwell sa stock market. Since right now, marami pong mga news like, di ba ngayon, sir, nasa sideways po tayo ngayon and nasa 6,000 level yung ating index from nung nag-pandemic naman, nagbumaba kasi si sir, di ba? Tapos medyo bumawi. Right now ba, sir, na nasa 6,000 level ang index natin, ano po ba yung projection natin kung kailan siya possible mag-recover, at least looking at the fundamental and technical side of our market?
Ayun, you answered it quite well already that if the underlying trend is sideways, so until may mag-shift doon from a technical level, then there may not be any movement either upward or downward unless those key resistances are are broken. It's just that over the past few days, mas malakas yung selling pressure sa market natin because there's the economy has been affected din talaga eh. So uh, people should have an incentive to buy higher, meaning kung bumili ako ng company ngayon sa market, what do I see in the latter months or years that yung price na binili ko ngayon compensated for the growth that I will get or compensated for the dividends that I will get as well. So the more uncertain it is also, the more people tend to stay in cash. And ganun din sa yung Philippine market kasi it's predominantly foreign driven eh. So if foreigners are selling, you can't really see a lot of those large cap stocks na binibili nila to go up. Hence, madadrag din niya yung index lower.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you po, sir, for your insight. Sir, siguro this will be my last question no, before we see some tips or last encouragements sa mga audience natin, sir. For those naman, sir, na planning to invest in global market, is it ideal, sir, to invest directly ulit on your own? Kung nyari meron ka ng Philippine stock market investment, tapos gusto nila mag global trading such as ngayon yung eToro, sir, no? Medyo sumisikat siya. What do you think is better, eToro directly or access fund provided by organizations? Parang mutual fund setting ulit.
Okay. If you would ask me, I should have started investing earlier in US stocks. I started investing 2013, 2014, so mga 7 years ago. If I knew it, no, if I knew it before ako nag-start mag-work, I would have invested earlier. Dun ko na-realize that sobrang ganda. I mean, yung difference kasi yun, yung isa kong broker, medyo traditional yung website niya eh. You can still buy and sell, pero hindi siya kasing exciting ng mga mas bagong app-based platforms, Robinhood, Webull, eToro, all of those made it exciting to be able to trade it. Tapos kung gusto mo mag-transfer ng pera in 1 second, pagka online transfer mo nandun na rin. So may gusto kang bilhin, for example, gusto mo bumili ng cryptocurrencies 2 a.m. ng madaling araw ng Saturday, pagka transfer mo, the money's there, you can buy it already. So exciting siya. It's something that I wish I should have done earlier. And yung options sa sobrang ang dami mong pwedeng pagpilian. Gusto mo bumili ng solar, gusto mo bumili ng wind, gusto mo bumili ng Disney, gusto mo bumili ng Tesla, gusto mo bumili ng all of the other stocks na hindi available sa Philippines, na market leader, you'll be able to buy it online. And I think that's the amazing feature of the internet, that you get to expose yourself to other investments that somehow kung walang internet, it would be very, very hard for a lot of people. So by the way, before I continually answer that question that you mentioned about US markets, I just want to mention this, that yung Philippine market, as of the time we're recording, it's currently breaking down. That's one key thing to note, and that's why it's nice to have other markets, because when one market is not as attractive, you can have your other positions in other markets that can do well for you. Like for example, mid last year, ganda ng US stocks, ganda ng gold, ganda ng cryptocurrencies. Then probably October, November, December last year, that's when nag-pick up konti yung Philippine markets. Then first month of 2021, sobrang attractive ng US stocks, sobrang attractive ng cryptocurrencies at the moment where the PSE is also dropping. So I think that's what's nice about it, that when you see markets drop, you're not you have an option na you can still make money somewhere else, and you don't have to if you're just exposed in one market, maghihintay ka lang, parang ano gagawin ko? Hintay na ako, I'll stay in the sidelines before it bounces back again. But if you have other options, the alternative to earn is also there. So yun, if you're asking me, I should have done it earlier. As in super, especially last week, we're doing this video kakatapos lang nung the GME. There were times na madaling araw gising ako just to monitor what's happening. Yung excitement na ganun, that you have options that can help you. And last na lang is, I think this is the advantage for those people who are busy. Pag busy ka sa trabaho mo, hindi mo mabantayan yung Philippine stocks. Pag uwi mo sa bahay, gabi, wala kang trabaho, doon magbubukas sa US market. So, it's actually good for people that busy sila sa umaga, hindi sila makapag-check ng Philippine stocks. Pwede nila gawin sa gabi. So, I think it's a very, very good platform also, or way to allow people to earn more kung hindi nila kayang gawin sa Philippine stocks.
I believe, Sir Marvin, yung investment natin, if ever we will place it in US stocks, it's another way to diversify. Kasi nga, sir, diba, if, like what you mentioned, if the local market is not that good, at least you have another platform na pwede kang mag-earn or at least mag-gain. So, yeah, I think, thank you, sir, no, for our listeners and viewers. So,
may sasabihin pala ako, nakalimutan ko isa pa.
Sige, sir. Sige po, sir. Go ahead po.
Sobrang baba ng dollar ngayon eh. So, kung pinalit mo yung 47 mo, $1 kagad yun, it can buy you more dollars. So, sulit siya. Unlike dati, to be able to get $1, kailangan mo maglabas ng 50 pesos. So think about it. To get $1,000 ngayon, kailangan mo na maglabas ng 47,000, hindi na 50,000. So, you will, dun pa lang, you're actually getting more already because the dollar is weaker. So, that's an advantage at this time. Na wala 5 years ago kasi mataas yung dollar.
Thank you, sir. No? Very relevant insight. So, kumbaga pa, nakasale pa din at mababa yung dollar ngayon. So, grabe. Sobrang dami ko natututunan. And this is, kumbaga glimpse pa lang to ng mga topics na sinishare din ni Sir Marvin about stocks and investing. Sir Marvin, any, mga encouraging words for our listeners and investors before we wrap up? And meron po ba kayong mga upcoming events kung online, sir, or where they can follow you or message you, sir, if they have questions or regarding investing?
Hindi, okay lang. Nandito lang ako. Wala akong not here to prove anything. Nandito lang ako dahil in-invite mo ako. So, I have a YouTube channel. If they want more, they can go there, Marvin Germo. Pero, to everyone watching this, okay lang, hindi ka mag-subscribe sa akin. Dito na kayo mag-subscribe. Okay lang.
Grabe, sir.
Pinutin yung bell para ma-update kayo sa mga bago niyang video. So, yeah, kahit sa inyo na lang, supportahan nyo yung channel na to. Or I think that's more important. And kung gusto ko final advice, keep on watching this channel and then learn more from whatever content that's here.
Alright, sobrang salamat po, Sir Marvin, sa support and your time. And to our audiences and listeners, please follow Sir Marvin Germo if you have more contents na gustong mapanood din. And ako, lagi ako nanonood ting merong yung si Sir Marvin. No? Marami rin silang mga speakers. So, I'm sure it will add value to you guys. So, thank you again for investing your time with us. And see you in our next episode. Bye, guys!
All right. Bye, everyone.